A life forged in the fires of conflict. The early years of Yahya Sinwar. Born in 1956 in a Gaza refugee camp, Sinwar experienced firsthand the displacement and hardships faced by the Palestinians. This early experience with conflict deeply shaped his worldview and fueled his commitment to the Palestinian cause. Sinwar's involvement in political activism began in his youth. While still a student, he joined the Muslim Brotherhood, which was considered the intellectual wellspring of Hamas. His charisma and dedication quickly drew attention, making him a rising figure within the movement. The outbreak of the First Intifada in 1987 marked a turning point in Sinwar's life. He took a more militant path, participating in the founding of Hamas's military wing, the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam Brigades. Israeli authorities arrested him in 1988 and sentenced him to 4 life terms for his role in the kidnapping of Israeli soldiers. Even in prison, he continued to shape Hamas's ideology and strategy, solidifying his position as a key leader. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. From prisoner to kingmaker. Sinwar's rise within Hamas. Sinwar's release from prison in 2011 as part of a prisoner exchange deal marked a pivotal moment for both Hamas and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. No longer a young activist, he emerged as a hardened leader, unwavering in his commitment to the liberation of Palestine. His return to Gaza was met with widespread celebrations, highlighting his status as a symbol of Palestinian resistance. Sinwar's ascent to the helm of Hamas's leadership came in 2017 when he was elected the organization's leader in Gaza. This victory cemented his place as one of the most influential figures in Palestinian politics. His leadership signaled a shift within Hamas, emphasizing a more hardline approach towards Israel. The Iron Fist. Sinwar's leadership and the transformation of Hamas. Yahya Sinwar's tenure as leader of Hamas witnessed a significant transformation of the organization. Known for his pragmatism and ruthlessness, he sought to consolidate Hamas's control over Gaza. Under Sinwar's leadership, Hamas's military wing, the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam Brigades, underwent significant expansion and modernization. He prioritized the development of sophisticated weaponry, including long-range rockets and attack tunnels, bolstering Hamas's ability to strike Israel. Sinwar fostered close ties with Iran and Hezbollah, securing vital financial and military support for Hamas. These alliances reflected his strategic vision of enhancing Hamas's regional standing. However, his crackdown on dissent within Gaza raised concerns about human rights violations and the erosion of democratic principles. A legacy of defiance. Sinwar's impact on Palestinian resistance. Yahya Sinwar's legacy is inextricably linked to the Palestinian struggle for self-determination. As a staunch advocate for armed resistance, he played a pivotal role in shaping the tactics and strategies employed by Hamas against Israel. Sinwar's leadership saw a shift in Hamas's approach to the conflict, with an increased targeting of Israeli civilians. He oversaw the development and deployment of new weapons, including incendiary kites and balloons, designed to inflict economic damage and sow fear within Israeli communities. This tactic, while controversial, proved effective in disrupting daily life in Israel. Sinwar's commitment to armed resistance resonated with a segment of the Palestinian population, particularly those disillusioned with the peace process. The price of resistance. The human cost of Sinwar's leadership. While Yahya Sinwar's leadership resonated with a segment of the Palestinian population, it is crucial to acknowledge the human cost associated with his commitment to armed resistance. Sinwar's tenure as leader of Hamas was marked by repeated cycles of violence between Israel and Hamas, resulting in significant casualties on both sides. The indiscriminate nature of rocket fire from Gaza and the often disproportionate force employed by Israel resulted in the deaths of countless innocent civilians. The humanitarian situation in Gaza, already dire due to the ongoing blockade, deteriorated significantly under Sinwar's leadership. Sinwar's relentless pursuit of armed struggle, while yielding certain desired outcomes, ultimately hampered the prospects of a peaceful resolution to the conflict. A polarizing figure. International perspectives on Yahya Sinwar. The international community views Yahya Sinwar's legacy through vastly different lenses. His supporters hailed him as a freedom fighter, a courageous leader who challenged Israeli oppression. His detractors condemned him as a terrorist responsible for the deaths of numerous Israelis. Sinwar's relationship with the international community was complex and often fraught with tension. He maintained close ties with Iran and Hezbollah, alliances that further isolated Hamas from Western powers. His hardline stance towards Israel and refusal to renounce violence made him a persona non grata in many Western capitals. The future of Hamas. Navigating the post-Sinwar era. Yahya Sinwar's departure in 2024 marked a significant turning point for Hamas, raising fundamental questions about the organization's future direction. Sinwar's departure left a leadership void, creating uncertainty and potentially leading to a power struggle within the movement. The future of Hamas hinges on its ability to navigate the post-Sinwar era with unity and a clear vision. The organization faces internal divisions between its political and military wings, as well as generational gaps in perspectives and strategies. The choice of Sinwar's successor will be crucial in determining Hamas's trajectory. A pragmatic leader might prioritize the reconstruction of Gaza and engage in dialogue with Israel. Conversely, a more hardline figure might double down on armed resistance, potentially triggering another devastating cycle of violence. The unending struggle, Sinwar's legacy, and the quest for peace. Yahya Sinwar's life and legacy are deeply intertwined with the seemingly intractable Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His unwavering commitment to armed resistance, while controversial, reflects the deep sense of grievance felt by many Palestinians. Sinwar's departure, while significant, is unlikely to bring an end to the conflict. The core issues that have fueled decades of violence, land, security, and political representation, remain unresolved. Achieving peace requires both sides to engage in good faith negotiations and be willing to make difficult compromises. The international community has a crucial role to play in facilitating dialogue and providing incentives for peace. The burden of leadership. Scrutinizing Sinwar's controversial decisions. Yahya Sinwar's tenure as leader of Hamas was marked by a series of dramatic and difficult decisions which ultimately led to the unification of Palestinian resistance forces. His unwavering commitment to armed resistance drew criticism for its human cost and perceived futility. One of Sinwar's most controversial decisions was the continued use of indiscriminate rocket fire into Israel. While these tactics were portrayed as a legitimate tactic against an occupying power, Sinwar's crackdown on dissent within Gaza raised concerns about his commitment to democratic principles and human rights. His focus on acquiring arms and waging war against Israel came at the expense of the well-being of ordinary Palestinians. Yahya Sinwar, a man of consequence, a life that left its mark. Yahya Sinwar's life and legacy defy easy categorization. He was a complex figure, driven by an unwavering commitment to the liberation of his people, yet willing to resort to tactics that caused immense suffering. He was both revered and reviled, hailed as a freedom fighter by his supporters, while condemned by his detractors. Sinwar transformed Hamas from a nascent resistance movement into a formidable political and military force. His legacy remains contested, his actions subject to ongoing debate and scrutiny. Nevertheless, his life story serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the desperate need for a just and lasting peace.